160 million years ago, the first bird appeared on our planet. A group of fully feathered theropods. Dromaeosaurids, microraptors, and velociraptors. We live among the descendants of dinosaurs. The killing claw of a velociraptor. The talons of birds of prey. Top of the food chain. The ultimate predator. Eagles, hawks, owls, vultures, rulers of the skies, hunters and masters of flight. Welcome to Predators on Wings.
Understanding and protecting birds of prey. By the way, meet my buddy, Shawa.
Hello everyone. And as Raptor Rangers, we conduct rescue and relief efforts. We also help to take care of the material. And today, we are going to introduce to you some of our favorite predators on wings.
So we started off with our Brahmani kites. Now these birds, they are agile and maneuverable in flight, which means they're able to catch their prey mid-air without even stopping. Now that also means they're able to eat while flying. Amazing, right?
That's right, Yogi. In fact, Brahmani kites are medium-sized raptors, but don't let their size fool you. They can still prey from a bird as big as a white-bellied sea eagle. Now, white-bellied sea eagles can be found throughout Southeast Asia. You can even spot them in the skies of Singapore.
That's right. So white-bellied sea eagles, they have feet with rough undersides. So it helps them to grip onto slippery and struggling prey. Just like the fishes and snakes they would catch in the wild. And in case you're wondering how that looks like, not to worry everyone, take a look at the big screen. Whoa, look at that!
Very cool indeed. And talking about birds of prey, they are vital to the health of our planet. They remove all sick animals and get rid of pests. One bird in particular helps us very well with pest control. That bird is none other than the owls. Oh, look who we have here, everyone. And that is Eclipse, our Malay fish owl, another local species found right here in Singapore. And the rodents that these birds hunt for never hear them coming, because owls are masters of silent flight.
So speaking of silent flight, we have another Malay fish owl patiently waiting right up there. So his name is Latif. So we're going to get Latif to fly down on stage. So there's a reminder to everyone, please remain seated, keep your hands down and be as quiet as possible, as you are about to witness an owl's unique community of a silent flight. Wow, I'm sure none of you heard anything apart from his call. And that is because owls, they have soft edges at the tip of their feathers, which helps to alter air turbulence and absorb noise. Now they also have incredible eyesight and binocular vision.
And talking about eyes, the colors of their eyes tell us when they tend to hide. The owls eyes, they love different eclipse here. They hunt during the day. Owls with orange eyes hunt during sunrise and sunset. But what about owls with black colored eyes? Well, they love to hunt during the night.
Alright, so speaking of owls, I do have a question for everyone here, but before that, take a look at the big screen. Oh, look at that! Okay, so then my question to everyone here is, to how many degrees do you think an owl can rotate its head? Shout out the answers.
180,
360, okay, anything else?
270.
180, okay, any other answers? Come on, don't be shy. 270, you are absolutely correct. Give yourself a loud round of applause. Great job. So 360 degrees, that is actually a full circle. So if an owl were to attempt to do that, they might just sprain their necks. And we do not want that to happen to our birds, right? And you know what? I think our Malay fish owls have done a wonderful job. It is time for them to fly all the way back home. Alright, that's it. Whenever you are ready, spread your wings and fly. So we've met some of our favorite birds of prey from Asia. We are now headed west to the Americas to meet some charismatic reptiles. Now, as you can see, Sharon here is setting up the stage for our next bird of prey, who looks like a falcon with sharp beak and talons, but also behaves like a vulture and would sometimes feed on carrion. So from South and Central America, let's welcome Raul, our southern crested Parapara. Hello there, Raul.
Well, this is an unusual bird of prey. It prefers to stay on the forest ground in search of a prey that's hiding underneath. These birds have long legs and flat claws, which allows them to roll over the rocks, flip over tree trunks, or even suicide with chips and dry leaves in search of worms and insects. But not only that, they sometimes raid eggs and steal food from other birds. But what if the insect that they were foraging for decides to take off and escape, perhaps fly away? Well, the caracaras are going to make vertical flights to catch them, just like this.
Oh, okay, but I think Raul can do much better.
Okay.
Okay, come Raul, right over here. And there we go, ready? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, all the way up. There we go. Now that Raul here has done a wonderful job, it's time for him to head all the way back home. Let's give it up for Raul, our southern crested caracara. So next raptor joining us on stage is one of the largest and most formidable raptors that you can find in North America. So before we invite her on stage, just a reminder to everyone, please remain seated and keep your hands down, alright? And this bird will be flying very low above some of your heads. So for your safety and the safety of our bird, please remain seated, alright? Let me just scan the crowd. Alright, so looks like we're all set and ready. Let us welcome Dio, our juvenile bald eagle. So bald eagles, they're commonly found all over the United States of America. And did you know that they can also be found in certain parts of Canada as well? So Dio here, she was actually hatched and raised in a zoo in France. Now she is about 3 years old this year. Look at that, what a beautiful flight.
Now all female raptors are much larger and heavier than the males, and she is no exception. The beaks and talons are huge, making them an unmatched huntress. By the way, the only weighs 4.7 kilograms, and yet flying at high speed, they can lift a prey that can weigh up to 4 kilograms, which is almost her entire body weight.
That's right. So juvenile bald eagles, they have dark brown plumage, just like Dio over here. But in a minute's time, we're going to show you a video of how their plumage changes over time once they reach adulthood. So everyone, eyes on the screen. And our crew? Well, I'm talking about the vultures. But vultures, they are widely misunderstood birds. When you see them on TV, they are portrayed as people circling around the skies with an ominous music, sense of impending doom. But we are here to tell you the real story.
The vultures are nature's cleanup crew. They use columns of air to fly and glide as they search for dead animals, using their sense of sight and smell. The vultures help to prevent the spread of contagious diseases.
And having said that, let's welcome our very first vulture, Zena, our turkey vulture. Alright, so Zena, here will be making a couple more flights. Once again, everyone, please remain seated and keep your hands down, alright? Here she comes. Whenever you are ready, one last flight all the way down. Once again, everyone, please sit down, children especially. Thank you very much. Alright, Zena, whenever you are ready, the stage is yours. Oh, and here we go. And a touchdown. Now, turkey vultures, they can be found all over the Americas. And did you know they are one of the very few birds with a finely tuned sense of smell?
And that means if there is a dead animal, turkey vulture is the first ones on the scene. And the bigger vultures will follow suit to do the hard work of ripping apart the tough hide of the dead animal.
That's right. So turkey vultures, they actually have really acidic stomach acid. In fact, it's as acidic as car batteries. But there's also an animal in the animal kingdom with a very powerful stomach acid. So I'm going to give you a few hints. If you know the answer, shout it out loud, okay? So the first hint is, this animal starts with the letter H. It can be found in the night safari. And its vocalization sounds like a laughter. So any guesses? Hyena, you are absolutely right. Now hyenas, they have really powerful stomach acids, which helps them to digest hoofs, hearts, and even bones. And looks like Zena here is ready to head back home. Whenever you're ready, off he goes. Let's give it up for Zena, our turkey vulture. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all eyes on the big screen right now. This looks like a scene of chaos, doesn't it? A bunch of greedy birds competing and stripping a carcass down to its bones. But to me, this looks like a very disorganized feeding frenzy.
Well, let's not forget, vultures are social species and they respect their place in the pecking order. So when vultures gather, there is a feeding protocol.
And with that, let us welcome the first guest at the feast, the African white-backed vulture. Now these birds, they are social yet aggressive feeders. So once they find a carcass, they will wait nearby before starting to feed. But once they get going, about 100 of them can strip a carcass clean in less than 20 to 30 minutes. Once widely found in Africa, these birds are now critically endangered and disappearing at an alarming rate.
Yogi, don't you have two more scavengers to join us?
Two more scavengers. Oh, you're talking about the larger ones?
Yes, that's right, the bigger ones.
Alright, so we do have a much more larger one joining us on stage. But before that, everyone, remember to sit down, okay? So without further ado, let us welcome our American star from Africa. And one more right down there. Now these birds, they have a stagger-like beak and a stern old man's face.
Although they are the vultures, they're able to coexist well with the vultures, especially during the big feast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, about 11 species of vultures in Africa clean up to 70% of the continent's carrion. Now, we would all be in a lot of trouble without these vultures.
That's absolutely right. But all over the world, we are losing these amazing birds for many different reasons. Reasons like poison carcasses, deforestation, electrocution, and even superstitious belief. Many of these birds are now critically endangered. Our conservation arm, Mundane Nature, helps to support the conservation efforts in Cambodia to protect the red-headed vultures from going extinct. Worldwide efforts like this will be the only way to save vulture species from all over the world. And these birds do an amazing job keeping our environment safe and clean. So let us show some appreciation to these beautiful birds by giving them a loud round of applause.
Well, today we had raptors and scavengers, for these kings of the skies and walkers of our earth are a part of our ecosystem, a part of our planet. And if we lose them, we lose a part of our family.
And having said that, let us all learn to live in harmony with all predators on wings.
So ladies and gentlemen, presentation now allow me to share with you our next program, Amphitheater. Now if you're keen to watch hornbills, parrots, or even pelicans, the totally wings of the world have been right here. And wow, ladies and gentlemen, you have been a great audience. I hope you enjoy your day right here in paradise. Thank you.